Broadway in August. Garcia is 5'6" and 190 pounds with graying hair and brown eyes. He faces possible manslaughter and aggravated assault charges. North Dakota State Representative Jim Casper says he will push for legislation aimed at taking state funding away from school districts which continue to teach critical race theory.
And so we're going to put in that next legislation, we're going to put what I would call a clawback. The school districts in the state of North Dakota that fail to follow the law, there's going to be an opportunity for clawback of their state dollars that we appropriate to that school district until they follow the law.
Casper made the comment during a public hearing in Bismarck focused on proposing rules for enforcing the state ban on CRT instruction. And as is tradition, the Stanley Cup is coming to Mandan thanks to a coach for the Colorado Avalanche. Each member of the Stanley Cup winning team has a chance to spend a day with the Cup anywhere they want. Casey Bond wants that to be his hometown of Mandan. Bond is the strength and conditioning coach for the champion Avalanche. The Cup will be on display this Monday, September 12th from 4 to 7:30 p.m. at the Styrian Sports Complex. This is Ty Schoenert with The Flag and AM1100theflag.com. First at the news when you need to know.
Get more with the MacDon FD2 Flex Draper. Up to 20% more capacity of smooth heads first feeding in the tallest, bushiest crops. The all-new frame features an ultra-deep deck with 50-inch deep drapers available in 25 to 50-foot configurations. With active crop flow, amazing reel performance, and new shutter guard reel positioning, the FD2 is hungry for more. We've got it to come, and check us out at booths W25, W30. MacDon, get more with the FD2 Flex Draper.
This is a Fox News alert. A world in mourning. I'm Lisa Brady. The Eiffel Tower goes dark and flags are lowered to half-staff, including in the U.S., in tribute to Britain's Queen Elizabeth II, who died earlier today. She was 96 and had been queen since age 25 when her father died.
It's an extraordinary achievement to have presided with such dignity and grace for 70 years. Her life of service stretch beyond most of our living memories.
New Prime Minister Liz Truss was with the Queen at her Scottish estate on Tuesday, the last time she was seen publicly, smiling and standing, but appearing frail in a photograph with Truss. The palace had announced earlier today she was under medical supervision. She said this after celebrations marking 60 years on the throne.
I will continue to treasure and draw inspiration from the countless kindnesses shown to me in this country and throughout the Commonwealth. Thank you all.
Her son Charles, now King Charles III, says the family will take comfort that deep affection for the Queen was so widely held. The Justice Department is appealing a judge's order for a third-party review of documents seized from the former president's Florida home. Today's filing also asks for that ruling to be put on hold pending the appeal. Former Trump White House advisor Steve Bannon now charged with money laundering, conspiracy, and other counts in New York, along with the group We Build the Wall, Inc. State Attorney General Letitia James says donors were defrauded of more than $15 million.
Mr. Bannon is intending to fight these charges all the way through. He is not guilty of anything that he's charged with or with any crime.
Defense attorney David Schoen, after Bannon turned himself in, later appearing in court. He had been pardoned in a similar federal case before President Trump left office. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a message just for the attorneys out there. So you passed the bar, joined a firm, or even built your own. Now are you finding out that you're doing more administration than actual law practice? Lexicon can help. Lexicon is a legal technology provider with over a decade of experience streamlining administrative tasks like timekeeping, billing, and more, so you can focus on maximizing billable hours and increasing client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/go to learn more.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656. Mostly cloudy for this evening with wind switching out of the north-northwest around 10 to 20 miles per hour. There will be a slight chance for a light spotty shower, although a higher chance will come throughout the overnight hours. As temperatures drop down to a low of 60, wind will as well around 5 to 15 out of the northwest with a few light spotty showers lingering into Friday morning. The afternoon should dry out under partly sunny skies. Temperatures near 70 on Friday with a northerly wind 10 to 20. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Today's weather is brought to you by Summit Carbon Solutions. The ethanol industry is critical for the North Dakota economy and our farmers. Summit Carbon Solutions is opening new economic opportunities for ethanol producers and helping maintain a strong market for corn growers while generating millions of dollars in new property taxes to help local communities support our schools and hospitals. Visit SummitCarbonSolutions.com to learn how this project is driving the future of agriculture in North Dakota.
Live from the PetroServe USA studio, it's the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free.
And the reason that you were born free is because some very brave men and women back in 1776 decided to fight a war to rid ourselves of the king, tyranny. And I say all that because today, some sad news. Queen Elizabeth II passes away at the age of 96. 96. We'll have more on that later in the show. I want to start here today. There's a brand new KSTP poll out on the Minnesota gubernatorial race, some other races as well that we're going to get into. But my question for you is this. When you look at Minneapolis right now, we've talked about this before. I mean, carjacking's up 339%. When you think about government's role, one of the key things that they should be doing is obviously keeping you and I safe. Carjacking's way up, as we've seen crime way, way up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And yet, according to this KSTP poll, and this is what I want to know from you, do you believe these polls? Do you believe the polls? Call into the show. The number to do so, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. This latest KSTP poll has got Governor Tim Walz up on Scott Jensen by 18 points. If you've seen many of the polls leading up to this time, it's been maybe 4 or 5, points, all sort of within the margin of error. Governor Scott Jensen, building momentum, if you will. And many people, and we talked about this earlier this week, are attributing this surge from Governor Walz. One, he's got 10 times more money than Scott Jensen does. So there are ads everywhere right now blasting Scott Jensen. But what do you think they're blasting Scott Jensen about? Some of the things he said in regards to pro-life and or abortion, however you want to, look at it, whatever your point of view is. So people are suggesting from this poll that the reason Governor Tim Walz is up by 18 points in this poll is because of what happened with Roe v. Wade. And many people are fired up because of that decision and want to get out and vote for someone like Governor Tim Walz, who is obviously very, very pro-choice. Earlier this week, we talked about Scott Jensen being at the state fair and how he said you'd go over to the Democrat Party, Governor Tim Walz kind of booth, and everybody and everything was about abortion. We brought up earlier this week the situation in the North Dakota congressional race. And I asked you, I said, why? Why are Democrats so obsessed with abortion these days? So, again, I get that Western Minnesota, Greater Minnesota, we're much more conservative than the cities and other parts of the state. But I got to ask you, do you think 18 points, do you believe that Governor Tim Walz is really, truly up by 18 points over Scott Jensen? 701-271-1100. If you want to call in and share your point of view, maybe you've got a beat on what's going on in the cities. But again, that number to call in, 701-271-1100. Now, when I first saw the numbers, I thought there's no way. There is absolutely no way that Tim Walz is up by 18 points. But there was another poll that KSTP did in regards to the Attorney General's race, the state auditor race, the Secretary of State race. And those are much tighter. So could the numbers have some veracity? I don't know. But even when you break it down from a geographic standpoint, a demographic standpoint, the numbers are pretty stunning. So I'm going to play with you. This is Tom Hauser. He's the reporter down at KSTP. They did this poll. He does some really, really good political work. So he breaks it down and gives you an idea of what exactly these numbers are saying.
And Tom, this one's being called a stunner.
Yeah, and it really is, Lindsay. If you've watched even 10 minutes of television in the past month, you've likely seen the ads attacking Republican Scott Jensen on abortion or education. And if you watch a lot of television, you've probably seen those ads dozens of times. It's likely a big reason why Walz has opened up a double-digit lead over Jensen in the governor's race.
And the more that Minnesota grows those opportunities.
Governor Tim Walz and Republican challenger Scott Jensen have met just once on a debate stage, and that was a month ago.
Scott Jensen is extreme.
Most of the campaign so far defined by a group allied with Walz spending millions attacking Jensen's position on abortion.
Listen to Scott Jensen's plan.
Or the Walz campaign attacking Jensen on education funding. So as the fall campaign unofficially gets underway post-Labor Day, Walz opened up an 18-point lead over Jensen, according to our new KSTP Survey USA poll. Walz leads Jensen 51% to 33%, with 4% preferring another candidate and 12% undecided, with a 4.9% credibility interval.
The results of this current poll are nothing short of stunning. The Jensen campaign basically has no money for messaging compared to the Walz campaign and the Walz campaign allies.
The Walz lead is pervasive demographically and geographically. He leads by 28 points among women, 58% to 30, and among men, 46% to 36.
Jensen is well behind amongst women, and I think abortion messaging is part of that.
Walz leads by 26 points in the Twin Cities, by 14 points in the Northeast, and by 6 points in southern Minnesota. Jensen leads only in western Minnesota by 6 points. As for key issues, those who cite abortion favor Walz by 64 points. Jensen leads among those most concerned about the economy.
So Jensen leads in the economy, yet the overall poll shows that Jensen is down by 18 points. Wasn't it the guy from Louisiana? I can't remember his name, but it was back in the Clinton days where it was like, it's the economy, stupid. Like, what is going on here? Guys, give me some volume, please.
Those who cite crime and health care.
Hold on a second, because we didn't have the volume for. I'm going to play this. This is important.
Who cite crime is among those most concerned about the economy, while Walz leads by double digits among those who cite crime and health care.
So, what? And according to the polling, I think it was 35% Republicans, 35% Democrats, and the rest independents. How Tim Walz, when you look at the situation in Minneapolis, St. Paul, the carjackings, the rioting, the fires, how Tim Walz can be up 51-35 when it comes to crime. Please help me understand. Call me 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. I don't get it.
But Carleton College political analyst Stephen Shear says the unrelenting attack ads against Jensen are taking the biggest toll.
There aren't groups that can come in with millions of dollars and message on his behalf. And that's a critical deficiency for him at this point.
And so far, Jensen simply does not have the money to respond. As evidence, the big deficit Jensen faces is unique to his campaign and all of those attacks against him. All three other statewide races show Republicans running much more competitively in our poll. We're going to have details on those.
So those numbers came out today. I'll get into those in a moment. But again, let's hope that money doesn't equate to wins, right? You remember Senator Kevin Cramer. I mean, Senator Heidi Heitkamp had, I think it was $11 million. I mean, she's just had these unbelievable amounts of money in the coffers. And yet Senator Kevin Cramer ended up winning that race by 11 points. I mean, that was the biggest margin of victory in a U.S. Senate race in all of 2018 when he won. So money doesn't always equate to wins. But I think what's shocking here with these overall numbers, I'm going to break this down for you. And Chris, if you can bring this up on the screen for our audience, please. This kind of gives you a breakdown of where people are at when it comes to, they polled on inflation, taxes, the economy, again, abortion. The crime one, I don't understand. How Tim Walz can be beating Scott Jensen when it comes to crime, I unless none of the people they polled were in Minneapolis and or St. Paul, I don't get it. If you want to call into the show, 701-271-1100. Again, 701-271-1100. But when it comes to inflation, and we've talked a lot about inflation. I mean, if you listen to Representative Michelle Fishbach, she'll tell you that's one of the key things that people are talking about in CD7. But Jensen, up when it comes to inflation, 48-32. Comes to taxes, Jensen wins there. The economy, Jensen wins at the economy, and yet he's getting just crushed when it comes to health, obviously the abortion conversation, but more importantly, just the overall polling by 18 points. Again, it sounds like a staggering number, but if you look at some of the other polls that they've done, that number may have some veracity to it. Now, on the flip side, earlier today, John Hinderrocker, he's from the Center of the American Experiment out of Minnesota. He was on the Scott Hennon Show. Scott had a great interview with him and asked him about some of the latest polling data. Here's what John Hinderrocker had to say.
Well, our polling indicates that crime is the number one issue on the minds of Minnesotans. We asked, what do you think the next governor of Minnesota should focus on the most? The economy was number two. Most places in the country, the economy is number one. But in our polling, Minnesotans said.
So keep in mind here, he's suggesting that their polling showing that crime is the number one thing on the minds of Minnesotans right now, also the economy. So I want you to just keep that in mind because it's really important for what I'm going to play for you in a moment here from Michelle Tafoya. So David, hang with me here. We're going to get to your phone call. Again, if you want to call into the show, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100, the flag. I had to. 1100, the flag. Here's Hinderrocker.
The number one issue is crime. It absolutely is on the ballot. But, you mentioned abortion a couple of minutes ago, Scott. And that's what we're seeing in Minnesota. I mean, all summer long, the Democrats were running ads attacking Scott Jensen and Matt Burke, the Republican candidates, and they were all about abortion. Abortion is not on the ballot. It doesn't make any difference who wins that race. Abortion is protected according to our Supreme Court under the Minnesota Constitution. It is not on the ballot.
Very good points. And yet, one of the things, and I'm hoping that I'm, as I would like to say, washing your feet, serving you by kind of taking you behind the scenes when it comes to influence and persuasion. But one of the things you got to understand about people is that people will do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. They'll do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. Now, why does that matter to you? Because with all these attack ads you just heard, they're saying, Scott Jensen, he's extreme. Like, people don't even know what they're talking about. Why is he extreme? They just want to say that. And then all of a sudden, what's going to happen is that you're going to see, oh, he's an extreme guy. Why do you think Joe Biden's doing what he's doing? He's an extreme guy. He must be part of those extreme people. I can't. That's just unfortunately how we work. Okay, we got a short amount of time here. I want to get to your phone call, 701-271-1100. David, I'm going to bring you in here, let you share your point of view for a moment, and we'll keep you probably through the break. So, David, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Hi, good afternoon. You asked a question about how can this be? Well, it's the information saturation. We got 90% of the information that is going out to the people is giving that false message. And all that those false message recipients do is tell the rest of their kind that's the only thing to listen to. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to 1100. Don't listen to any of that. I mean, they're just overwhelming people's minds with garbage.
David, very well said. If you don't mind, David, I haven't thought about that one, so I'm going to steal your line there. The information saturation in our nation is a very, very good way of. It's exactly true, and it gets to the point where it's exhausting. It's confusing. You're just like, just throw on some Netflix. So, Eric, stay with us. We're going to get to your phone call. Would love to know your point of view on the latest poll suggesting that Scott Jensen down by 18 points. Don't know if I buy it, but number to call in, 701-271-1100, the flag. Or you can email us, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Thank you to Red Wing Shoes for sponsoring our studio email inbox. Check them out at redwingshoes.com. Again, that's redwingshoes.com. Stay with us.
Your farm and business depends on a reliable source for energy. PetroServe USA is the customer-owned co-op committed to being a stable source of fuel for your equipment and propane to dry your grain. We have the capacity to make sure you never run out of fuel and to keep prices stable. Dependability, competitive prices, and exemplary service. That's PetroServe USA, helping America fuel better.
PetroServe USA.
Call today.
8655.
Don't start harvest off with sore feet. Stop in and purchase a pair of Red Wing boots. Hi, Teresa here from the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. If you're planning on coming to Fargo for Big Iron, make sure to put Red Wing shoes and custom insoles on the top of your list. Nothing's worse than sore feet during harvest. Stop in and check out our vast selection of styles and colors. You'll be surprised. 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wing shoes for ultimate durability.
As a business owner or operator, have you ever wondered how much money your unreliable IT network's downtime is costing you? Do you wish you had an IT professional but think you can't afford one? With managed IT services from 702 Communications, you get an entire team of IT professionals to handle all of your business IT needs, and all for much less than you think. Right now, for a limited time, 702 Communications is offering your first month of managed services free with a promo code THEFLAG. Call 702 Communications today at 218-284-5702. And our managed service team will help you find a technology solution that fits your needs and puts your mind at ease. For a limited time, call 702 Communications today at 218-284-5702 or go to 702com.com and get your first month of managed services free with promo code THEFLAG.
Need an escape? No, not a vacation. An escape from your basement. Here at Precision Concrete Cutters, we specialize in egress window installation and replacement. So not only do we provide you an escape from your basement, but we provide sunlight into that dark, dreary space to make you feel like you're on vacation. Okay, maybe not, but you will relax knowing that you do have a safe way out.
For more information on egress windows, go to pccnd.com. That's pccnd.com.
Have you ever thought about selling your home but quickly talk yourself out of it when you consider all the repairs, cleaning, inspections, open houses, and the unknown of what price your home will actually sell at? Stop stressing. We will buy your home as is with no appraisals or costly commissions to worry about. You can even pick your closing date. Call me, John Osala with JK Property Partners at 701-306-3229 or go to fargohomevalues.com for an instant valuation.
Do you believe the polls? Do you believe the polls? Recent KSDP poll suggesting that Scott Jensen down by 18 points to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. And not only that, but that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is actually doing better than he is when it comes to crime, polling on crime. But it's like, have you been to Minneapolis, St. Paul lately? Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show. We're going to get right to your phone calls. If you want to call in, please do so. Love to know your point of view on this latest, data point, polling point, you could call it. 701-271-1100. 701-271-1100. This is your daily dose of truth to help set you free. All right, let's get to Eric on line 2. Eric, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not bad. As far as the polls, for one thing, we don't know what questions were asked and how they were asked. They are just hitting the propaganda machine left and right, just heavy. And I think that was because they saw numbers before that it was a tight race. And so it's not to be unexpected, though, because most people don't even know what the ruling was. They thought abortion was outlawed forever everywhere and didn't realize it was just turned back to their own states. One of the things you talked about, the daily bit of truth. If people look up the truth about Tim Walz, it was a letter written to the West Central Tribune, you'll actually find out the character of our governor at the moment, he walked out on his troops when he found out he was going to be deployed to Iraq. He walked out on his position as a command sergeant major as he was still attending the school. He walked away from it. He was reduced in rank to an E8 and was gotten rid of out of the Minnesota National Guard.
I did
If
not
you
know
look
that.
that letter up, it is written by two command sergeant majors who was his superiors at the time. And it also explains about him, while serving in the military, protesting the very war he was supposed to go serve. So he was supposed to be leading the 1st of the 125th Field Artillery, and he walked out and left them without a senior enlisted leader.
Eric?
I encourage you to look that up and let the people know, because that'll really tell you the character, and that character has come through with all the riots in Minneapolis, the burning of the buildings, the failure to lead, the comment about you wouldn't get a real soldier, you would get a 19-year-old cook from Mankato. And if you remember, the colonel that was bringing the troops into the riots said, we didn't have a mission. The guy is bad for Minnesota. Look that letter up.
Eric, thank you for the call. Want to let also people know, and Saturday, Scott Jensen is going to be in East Grand Forks, and then I believe 11 a.m. he will be in Moorhead. So you can find out more about that. Let's get this more phone calls here. If you want to call in, 701-271-1100. Again, 271-1100 to share your point of view. Let's go to Brett on line 3. Brett, welcome to the show. What's your point of view, sir?
Hey, I am listening to you on the way home from work, and I just had to call in.
Thank you.
I couldn't take sitting and not doing something for our area, so I became a canvasser for District 7. And I can tell you them poll numbers are way off, because everybody I talk to, I bet 90% of them are fed up with Walz.
There you go. That's good to know.
I know personally, I have an uncle in the cities that has a very well-to-do company, and him and multiple other people are selling everything they have and getting out of there because of the crime.
Wow. I'm hearing the same thing. Brett, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it. You know, I've got some family down in the cities as well, and the people they're hanging out with obviously fed up with Tim Walz and the situation that's taking place there. So again, let's not let just the money and the messaging win from a standpoint of just because Walz has got 10 times the dough. Still, I think Jensen with the right messaging, the right strategy, has got a chance to pull this thing off. Again, number to call in, 701-271-1100. Guys, let's go to Roger on line 3. Roger, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
My point of view is I know that them numbers are skewed. There's no way in heck, because I know a lot of people from Minnesota. I used to live there. I was born in Brainerd, but I moved down and lived the biggest part of my life down in Twin Cities. And there's places down there that I won't go into today. I will not go into certain neighborhoods. In fact, I don't even get off the freeway in there anymore.
Roger,
Yeah, I got family down there too, and that's just everybody that I know that's around the Moorhead in western Minnesota that I know all say the same thing. They're all done with it. They're all done with Walz.
Roger, thanks for the call. I know there's people in our community that don't even want to go down to a Vikes game or a Twinkies game because it's just, you're like, gosh, am I going to put my life at risk just by heading down to the cities? And look, I concur with many of you. I'm thinking there is just no way that Tim Walz, from a polling standpoint, is beating Scott Jensen when it comes to crime. So I look at these numbers, I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. But I will share this with you. They also polled the Attorney General's race. They polled the Secretary of State race. They polled the Auditor's race. Those races are much, much closer. Now, again, I don't know. I'm assuming they polled the same people. I don't know that. But for example, the AG race, Ellison is up by 6 points. So fairly, legit not quite within margin of error, but close. You've got the Secretary of State race. That's within 4 points, definitely within the margin of error. And then there's a state auditor's race where it's literally 1 point for the Democrat. Now, Democrats lead all those races, but much, much closer, which I think shares, okay, they're within the margin of error. So what happened in this gubernatorial poll? I just can't believe that he's down by 18 points. If you want to call into the show, please do so. Number 701 271 1100, 701 271 1100. Or you can email us, very easy to do, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. A really good email here. I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing, but from what I've read from the first line, it's great. Connor, thank you very much. It says this: as Rush always used to say, polling is a tool to shape public opinion, not reflect it. Minnesota is controlled by Democrats at every level. Democrats are using the polls to try to dispirit people, keep conservatives from voting, and energize their base. See, that's exactly where I was going when I first heard these numbers, a day or so ago. But then I saw the new numbers on the AG race and things. I thought, you know what? Maybe, I don't know. So that being said, it is in Minnesota we're talking about. It's like a small scale California. I think he's right. Yeah, you'll see. I'd be stunned if anyone without a D behind their name obtained the governorship, but we never know. Let's go to Jim on line 1. Jim, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Last weekend I went to the Minnesota State Fair, and Walz had a booth set up, a little booth there on the midway, and this woman was handing out flyers, Walz and Flanagan. I would say 1 out of 50 maybe stopped and talked with her. And then I went to Scott Jensen's booth, and people were in and out of there. They were handing out little round like fly swatters with it said Walz failed. Their booth was full of people, and then they had a plane pulling a sign up in the air that said Walz failed. And then somebody told me, I didn't see it in the cities, but Walz is running ads every half an hour on Scott or Jensen is against abortion, and he's against giving money to the education there. Well, just stop and think. Against abortion, killing of kids, it just don't make any sense when you stop and think about that. Walz is fighting tooth and nail to keep abortion to the last 9 months in Minnesota, and I called his office and I told that gal there, I said, why don't you promote pregnancy centers to help these pregnant women? Oh, no. That's all I have to say. But it doesn't look like the polls there. I'll tell you right in the fair where people are.
Jim, thank you for the phone call. It was really nice to hear that because I've heard the same thing as far as the state fair where it was kind of a ghost town over by Walz booth, and all they talked about, as he mentioned, was abortion. And you go over to Jensen. Jensen's taking questions, talking to Jensen put out a video where he said he was accosted at the state fair by somebody just because that's where things are at today. But he still stood there and took the questions. John and Linda, call us back if you don't mind at 4:52. We'd love to get your point of view. And I want to share this with you. As we just talked about, people are concerned about inflation. They're concerned about the economy. They're concerned about taxes. If you are concerned as well about your own pocketbooks, I want to encourage you to check out The Reaper. It's REAPER.io, thereaper.io. You can email Patrick there. It's all about, he's got his own decentralized finance token. Now, why is that important? Just look at Canada. Email him, Patrick, Patrick, Patrick at thereaper.io, and stay with us. We got a special guest coming up right after this.
Mostly cloudy for this evening with wind switching out of the north-northwest around 10 to 20 miles per hour. There will be a slight chance for a light spotty shower, although a higher chance will come throughout the overnight hours. As temperatures drop down to a low of 60, wind will as well around 5 to 15 out of the northwest with a few light spotty showers lingering into Friday morning. The afternoon should dry out under partly sunny skies. Temperature is near 70 on Friday with a northerly wind 10 to 20. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Live and on location.
Hey, it's Alex Taylor, and yes, I am live and on location at Three Lions Pub on 13th Avenue in West Fargo. It is one of my favorite places to hang out. It's just a nice little hometown pub atmosphere. It's super fun. And by the way, happy hour goes until 6 o'clock. And beer pounders tonight, Thursdays, are only $3.50, and craft pounders are only $4. And by the way, it's Oktoberfest here already. We're already celebrating at Three Lions. And some of that includes Sam Adams. And by the way, there's a great wine selection too, if you like that, like I do. And what's really cool is they have a special discount for all military and first responders, senior citizens 55 and older. They can get 15% off all your menu items, drinks, dinner, all that stuff. So you can't go wrong if you want to save a little money. By the way, they open up at 3 o'clock, and all kinds of food specials going on tonight as well. We've got $2 off all basket meals. Some new menu items include Southwest chicken and mac and cheese bites, white cheddar and bacon mac and cheese. I'm getting hungry. They've got the breaded mushrooms too, banger sandwiches, and of course, a lot of their classic favorites as well. I do have some of those flag hats, so come on out and I'll give you one of those. Say, hey, you heard me on the radio. Alex Taylor from Three Lions Pub on 13th Avenue in West Fargo from the Need to Know Morning Show and AM 1100 The Flag. Come on out.
Hey, it's Kev from the Need to Know Morning Show with my Bottle Barn beverage of the week. It comes from Jameson, and it's delicious. Jameson Cola is a ready-to-drink canned cocktail made with Jameson Irish whiskey, cola flavor, carbonation, and caramel color. And did I say it's in a can and ready to drink? Yeah. And available at both Bottle Barn locations, South University in Fargo and Veterans Boulevard in West Fargo, where they've got the beautiful humidor. Like them on Facebook to keep up with sales and new releases, and make Bottle Barn your last stop on the way to any occasion.
Westfest is back, and you can enjoy all the fun this annual event in West Fargo brings every year. With Cruise Night, the co-ed softball tourney, craft and vendor show, family fun at Herb Tintus Park, the Grande Parade and street dance on Saturday the 17th. It brings a ton of excitement to West Fargo, and they want the whole FM area to enjoy it. You can find out all the details and times online at westfargoevents.com. Fall brings a lot of great things to enjoy, and Westfest in West Fargo is certainly one of them. Find out more online at westfargoevents.com.
Think about it. Minnesota collected way more from taxpayers than it needs, resulting in the largest budget surplus in history. It's time to give it back. Think about it. State spending is at an all-time high. The rainy day fund is full, and our income tax rates are the 6th highest in the country. Hey, Governor Walz, it's our surplus. Give it back. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
The North Dakota Lottery's Pick and Click has a deal that's here, but gone in a flash. You can only get in on it today. When you buy $10 with Pick and Click Online Play, you get a $2 discount applied at checkout. Don't miss your chance at this flash sale and never miss a draw with Pick and Click Online Play. Go to lottery.nd.gov or download our mobile app. Don't forget this deal is available today only with Pick and Click and the North Dakota Lottery. Imagine the possibilities.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Thank you so much for all the phone calls today. One of my favorite parts of sitting at the mic every single day is getting a chance to hear your point of view. So continue to keep that phone warm. Dial in anytime. As always, the number is 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. We got a special guest. We're going to talk about what some great things happen in the great state of North Dakota now. At 4:52, we'll get back to some of your phone calls. If you want to call back then, we would love to hear from you. So every Thursday, we like to do what's called our Williston Economic Development Update, just because I was born and raised here, and we all remember the times when we were known as the Buffalo Commons or Flyover Country, and now you can look at every single quadrant of the state, and things are just booming. And what's really powerful about getting a chance to visit with Sean Wenko from the Williston Economic Development Update is there's this weird thing in North Dakota. We all know it, like the East and the West, but Sean allows us to sort of build bridges between the Western and Eastern part of the state. And so we're going to find out more about what's happening out in the wonderful city of Williston. Sean, welcome back to the show. Happy Thursday. Great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you again. You know, you're spot on with when we talked about Buffalo Commons. You know, I go back to, I was born and raised in Williston. I did what a lot of my counterparts did. You moved away in the 90s. There just wasn't a lot of opportunity. I remember in 2000, I was finishing college. I wanted to come back. And I remember my dad just going, well, it'd be great to have you back, but what are you going to do? And now you look at, you couldn't be further from the truth in that. There's thousands of jobs open, good paying jobs and opportunity across the state. So it's North Dakota is pretty cool to be from right now.
It really is. I think there was a recent report I just saw came out too. It was like the hardest working states, and of course, North Dakota, numero uno. So it was nice to see that. But I just want to hear, because like I didn't spend much time in Williston growing up here, but 2000 Pops was like, Sean, what are you going to do? You're going to come back here and do what? Like, it was that barren, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, I think we had it at the time. I mean, there was zero activity going on, and obviously, technological advancements in the oil and gas industry is really what kicked this thing forward. But I just remember, you'd look at the classifieds in the newspaper, and you might have saw 2 jobs of being a in the service industry. And it's funny now, I don't think you can get through them all in just one sitting of the amount of jobs that are out there. And again, it's all levels. It's from professional all the way down to entry level. So, and good paying. I just can't say that enough, that you really can build a future and you can build some opportunity out here.
You know what? I know you got a big event coming up at the end of the month. You guys were kind enough to ask me to MC it, so I want to talk about that. But let's talk about what you just mentioned, because the fact that good paying jobs, there's housing, there's restaurants. I mean, speak a little bit to what kind of opportunities are available, because I know there's this workforce problem, but maybe you can share something that someone says, hey, you know what? I need to go find out more about that.
Well, a good example. Well, I go back to, again, the good paying jobs. As you look at, if you haven't been to Williston over the past 10 years, you'd be quite surprised to what you're going to see. I mean, you're going to see a town that just about tripled in size. It grew significantly through the course of the boom that we saw in 2012 through 2014. And then that activity, it leveled off, but it never quite died. And so it just continued to grow. And what happened was a small business developed within that, and we started to see more diversification. So, people might think, you look at Williston and say, well, it's going to be, they're good paying jobs. It's all going to be oil and gas industry. The bulk of those jobs are, but that's not necessarily the case of all that's out there. You've got needs in the healthcare. We've got needs in education. We've got needs in the restaurant and retail sector. So it's all across the board right now. Pretty much what anybody has a skill set to do, there's more or less a need for it out here.
You just joined us, Sean Winko, with the Williston Economic Development Update. We do this every Thursday, talking about the great things happening in the wonderful city of Williston. So, Sean, this event you got coming up at the end of the month, tell us more about some of the awards and what you're going to highlight there.
Yeah, so one of the big things that we do with economic development is we like to celebrate success throughout the year. So we partner with the Small Business Development Center. Each year we call it the SBDC WED, Williston Economic Development Annual Awards Banquet. And it's set to happen this September 30th, Friday, September 30th. Where we're going to get together and we're going to celebrate entrepreneurs. And we each give out, through the 2 entities, we each give out various categories. So you'll see with like the Small Business Development Center, they're giving out, the lender of the year. So it's the banker that has worked the best with our entrepreneurs. The champion of the year, that's someone who has really championed entrepreneurial development. Women-owned business of the year, existing business of the year, new business of the year. That's what you'll see SBDC doing. We give out awards like Ambassador of the Year, so that's somebody that really helps promote the community of Williston. We do a community partnership, so that's the public-private outreach of who works with us best throughout the year, and that we've created something great to help kind of drive more development into the area. We also will have Regional Business of the Year, and then we also, this year, we're going to add something new. We got a posthumous award. And that's going to go to one of our locals here, a longtime local that passed away that really introduced the theater and the arts into this community. His name being Jack DeVille. Unfortunately, he passed away here a couple months ago. So we're going to add that category because there's a lot of people we think we need to celebrate that throughout the years helped grow this community. So it's a night. It's a great time. I tell you what, we do. We've got a plate of dinner. We've got live music. There's entertainment. And, like you said, yours truly. You're going to help host the show for us, so it's going to be a fun time.
I mean, there's nothing better than hanging out with a bunch of entrepreneurs, right, that are out there just building businesses, growing, and making things happen within a community. And so what's the buzz right now in Williston? Again, for people that are listening maybe in the eastern part of the state, western Minnesota, what's the buzz? Where is there some opportunity for people?
Yeah, again, it's across the board. I couldn't pinpoint any one area where I would say, well, you should look here, but don't look here. Again, the biggest thing is we're seeing a big movement on the value added. I say it every time we're on the show. Value added. It's looking at the byproduct of the oil and gas industry and agricultural industries out here, taking that byproduct and creating value of it. We've got emerging technologies. You see that we have been moving forward on looking what our applications are for unmanned aerial systems. And then again, that small business development sector. If you talk to our SBDC office, you will see the numbers and the people that come in that just want to start the mom and pop shops, whether it be coffee shops, little clothing stores, or something that's helped serving a need that's out there in the community. It's just that's a huge number of that's happening here as well. So again, the opportunity is straight across the board in Western North
John
Dakota.
Winko, I want people to know he is fantastic at holding your hand, meaning that if you're someone that's like, I've got this idea, I think there's an opportunity here in Williston. If there's even an inkling in your heart, give them a call. Go to their website, willistondevelopment.com. They're more than happy to sit down with you, even run some numbers, introduce you to bankers. I mean, it's such a great and powerful service to help you flourish that entrepreneurial heart. So most important question of the day, Sean. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Bills or Rams? The game's tonight, man.
Well, I tell you what, I don't want to lose a lot of fans being on your side of the neighborhood, but I got to tell you, I've been a long-time Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I could go either way, Bills or Rams tonight. But hey, I'm pumped. The season's kicking off, and I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be fun to watch. So I didn't really know that you're an EAGLES Eagles fan. That's fantastic, man.
Long before Carson Wentz.
So were you one of the guys that was throwing batteries at Santa?
You know what? I'm a little more tame. I mean, I'm still that North Dakota nice. So, I can't. I have to apologize for some of my counterparts over there in South.
I was going to say, man, those Eagles fans they're just absolutely ruthless. But thank you so much for the insight. I want to give you, if you don't mind, just share out your phone number if people want to contact you.
Yeah, again, willistondevelopment.com. You can see what we're doing. You can reach out to us through there, or you can call us direct. It's 577-8110. Again, if you're looking at starting a business, we're there to help you and walk you through it and answer any questions you might have.
So can you sing the Eagles song?
I'm not singing it on this show, but I sing it quite a bit in my basement. I'll take that.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Dude, that is just awesome. Sean Winko, willistondevelopment.com. Thank you, sir.
Good talking to you.
You too, my friend. Good luck this weekend. That is right. They're kicking off the NFL season tonight. You got the Bills versus the Rams. So we'll see what happens there between Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford. By the way, if you look at all the Vegas numbers, I mean, everyone's got the Bills as winning the Super Bowl this year. The Buffalo Bills might finally pick one up with Josh Allen from Wyoming. So it'll be interesting to watch what takes place there. And, of course, the Vikes taking on the Pack as well on Sunday. All right, when we come back, we'd love to get to your phone call. So Jim, John, Linda, hopefully you're able to hold or call back into the show, please. Number to do so. We want to talk about these polls and the gubernatorial, I love that word, gubernatorial race in Minnesota. Gubernatorial. 701-271-1100 is the number to call in. 701-271-1100. Also want to remind you, if you're someone right now who's dealing with depression, anxiety, there's just a lot going on. If you just don't feel right, do yourself a favor and contact Siriset of Fargo. It's awesome because they sit you down. It's not intrusive. You basically take a nap for an hour, but they can really help you eradicate anxiety and depression. The number to call there is 701-566-5231. Again, 701-566-5231.
Live and on location.
Hey, it's Alex Taylor at Three Lions Pub on 13th Avenue in West Fargo. Come on out and get out of that humidity. Oh my goodness, it is so muggy out there. I'm waiting for the cold front to come through like Dean was telling us, but it's nice and cool in here. I'll be here until at least 6 o'clock, if not longer. I've got a little flag swag for you. Those flag hats are pretty popular. We've been handing out a few of those. They're pretty popular. And it's trivia night. That starts at 7 o'clock, and blackjack starts at 7 as well, if you like that sort of thing. And I'm here for the food. You want to come in so you don't have to cook. We've got $2 off all basket meals tonight, and there's plenty of new menu items to pick from, too. Southwest chicken and mac and cheese bites, white cheddar and bacon mac and cheese. Oh, hello. If you're a mushroom fan, they've got those breaded mushrooms and banger sandwich, which includes onions, peppers, bacon, Swiss cheese bangers, and ale mustard. I know, I'm making myself hungry. Anyway, they've got happy hour that goes until 6 o'clock, and beer pounders Thursday are only $3.50. Craft pounders are only $4. And by the way, there's Oktoberfest beer too over here at Three Lions Pub, and we're located on 13th Avenue in West Fargo. It's one of Jay and I's favorite places. It's got a great atmosphere. It's your little hometown bar where you can just meet your friends and talk to people and not yell over the crowd. Alex Taylor from the Need to Know Morning Show on AM 1100 The Flag.
Harvest season is a busy one in the Red River Valley, with farmers working on harvesting their crops and with kids back in school. Cass County Farm Bureau would like to remind you to take extra time to ensure everyone stays safe, whether working on harvest or transporting kids to or from school. Keep alert so no one gets hurt. Supporting safety on the air because they care. From your friends at Cass County Farm Bureau.
Are you a business owner who needs an extra hand to meet that deadline? Hi, Nancy Kelly here from Labor Masters. It doesn't matter if you're a carpenter, a roofer, a mason, a painter, a landscaper, or a moving company. Whether you need help with cleanup or tear down. If you're looking for long or short-term help this season, don't hesitate. We've got you covered. Give us a call at 701-566-8755 or go online at labormasters.net. Labor Masters, the quality, reliable help you need today.
It's the first unlimited full-service and exterior works wash club at Don's Car Washes. You can have the best of both worlds with unlimited interior and exterior washes at the Don's on 13th Avenue and unlimited exterior washes at the Don's on 52nd Avenue. Truly unlimited washes for only $49.99 per month. Join Don's Unlimited Wash Club. Exterior unlimited washes starting as low as $19.99 per month. It's never been easier to put a smile on your car at Don's Car Washes.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show. Fly, Eagles, fly. Hopefully you know that song from back in the day when Carson Wentz was an Eagle. We are your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Please call into the show. Let me know your point of view. Some recent polling showing that Tim Walz up by 18 points on Scott Jensen. Kind of a stunning number. Number to call into the show, 701-271-1100. Do you honestly believe that Jensen's down by 18 to Tim Walz? When you look at the crime going across Minnesota, the school situation, the lockdowns, 18 points? It's hard to stomach. So again, 701-271-1100. Let's go to Linda on line one. Linda, welcome to the show. What's your point of view? Linda? Oh, all right, Linda. Call back in when you get a chance, please. But would love to know your point of view here on Governor Tim Walz, supposedly up by 18 points in this most recent KSTP poll. So I want to share this with you real quick. This is just because it's the NFL kicking off tonight. As you can't tell, like I am so excited. NFL kicking off. Again, number to call in, 701-271-1100. But Michelle Tafoya, former NBC NFL reporter, Sunday Night Football, always did a great job from Minnesota. Well, here's what she's got when it comes to what she's dubbing as the Walz Crime Report.
Tafoya with the Tim Walz Minnesota Crime Report. This isn't a report that I like delivering, but I think it's one you should hear. I'm going to give you this number, 779. Do you know what that is? That's the carjackings that took place in 2021. The first year that data was recorded.
Just pause for a moment. 779 carjackings. Not like, hey, somebody broke carjackings in Minneapolis at 7. That's more than 2 a day.
Reported. They're counted separately from motor vehicle thefts because they're different. Carjackings weren't previously reported as a separate statistic because they were so rare. But in 2021, under Tim Walz, 779 carjackings. Let me give you a couple other stats. Violent crime has skyrocketed in the state of Minnesota, up 21.6% statewide from last year. Violent crime in greater Minnesota rose by 16% over the last year, and violent crime in the 7-county metro area rose by 23.9%.
So just think about this for a moment. She's saying that, hey, violent crime in the metro area is up 23.9%. If you just missed that, she also said in greater Minnesota, that's you and me, still up 16%. So that's only what, 8 point margin between the metro and greater Minnesota. That's even hard to stomach from the standpoint. We all see the stories coming out of the metro area. To think that it's still up 16% in greater Minnesota is wow. All right, let's get to the phone lines here. Number to call in, 701-271-1100. The flag, 701-271-1100. Linda, welcome back to the show. What's your point of view?
Well, my biggest thing was about Governor Walz. A bunch of this is all lies, because the immigrants and the people on the reservations are the ones that really carry Walz because of all the money that he gives them. They love their monthly check. But I also have to tell you about the National Guard when they were in to Minneapolis when it was burning. My grandson was there. It was a nightmare. Walz told them that they could not harm the people that were rioting, and they had the shields in front of them, and the rioters had knives and razor blades on broomsticks swatting at their legs, and they were spitting in their faces, and they could not do anything. And during those 2-3 weeks, Walz was out at Camp Ripley. He did not want to face the problem that they had in Minneapolis. And after my grandson came home, he had to be there 3 weeks, they told him that they wouldn't get paid for quite a few months.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were going to pay him $100 a month till they paid him off. And a lot of these young National Guard people were college students that needed that money in the fall to go back to school.
Linda,
And
sorry to cut you off, but we've got one more call and we've only got a minute left. So, Linda, thank you for the call. Please call back in, will you?
we sure will.
Thank you very much. We really, really appreciate it. Again, just a minute here. We've got one more. And I think is it Rodney? So, Rodney, hopefully I'm getting your name correct, but welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Well, I was just thinking about these numbers with the governor's poll, and I really don't believe anything until I see the numbers behind the numbers. How many Democrats did they poll? How many Republicans? How many independents? I have observed over the last several years, a lot of times Republicans don't answer polls. By the way, Scott Jensen will be in Moorhead this Saturday at 11 o'clock. I don't know if you knew that, but he is going to be here.
Thank you so much for saying that. We just got a few seconds left. Thank you so much for the phone call. For everybody that's been calling in today, as always, it's my favorite part of the show is to hear your point of view. So we will do it again tomorrow. But he's right. Coming up on Saturday, 11 o'clock, Dr. Jensen will be in Moorhead at 11 a.m. He'll also be in East Grand Forks earlier in the day. So if you can find out where he's going to be, please go out. Let him know, hey, we got you. We're supporting you. And we'll see what happens here come November. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy. NFL kicks off tonight. This is Chris Berg. I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m.